Alright, so today I thought I would do a full brand, a single brand first impression. I've seen a couple of these on the internet and I love watching them, but what really triggered this for me is that I am on the hunt for some good mineral makeup. I know Bare Minerals is already really good, but it is a little bit on the pricier side, so I thought I would try this brand here called Nude by Nature. It's a similar concept, all mineral makeup according to the website, and it's Australian, so I always like trying to support Australian brands where I can. When I was online looking for information on Nude by Nature, it was difficult because I don't think a lot of people use it, and in most price lines where I find them, they're just in this like little booth. My skin right now is not in its best condition, so I feel like potentially using mineral makeup might help with that. I don't know, we'll see. I could just as well go without makeup at the moment. Usually when my skin is acting up and I don't have like presentations or client meetings or anything like that, I might just do my eyes and I'll just leave my entire face blank, like I won't use concealer, foundation, anything. Unfortunately at work right now I do have a lot of presentations, so I do want to wear makeup. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into the video. Okay, first things first, I actually picked up two foundations. I picked up this Natural Mineral Cover, which is kind of just some loose powder that I think you just buff into your skin. And then I also picked up the liquid foundation. I couldn't tell which one I would like to use, that's why I bought both. I figured maybe for work this one I'd probably use more because it's a little bit more of a light coverage, more natural finish I assume. But because I'm doing this on YouTube right now, I'm probably going to go with the liquid foundation and hopefully it gives me better coverage. So this is the Nude by Nature Liquid Mineral Foundation in Fair. I tested the colors in shop and this seemed to fit the best. I mean, there were only like 6-8 different shades, so kind of hard to say. Not the biggest range, but we'll see. So Fair is the lightest shade, and I do find that for most like drugstore foundations, although drugstore is not really a term we use in Australia, but for most drugstore foundations I tend to go for the lightest shade, and then when I go for more high-end foundations I tend to be either the lightest or just one off the lightest. So pumping this directly out of the tube, it looks like it's probably going to be a bit too light for me, which is a bummer because I tried the one that was the second lightest one and that was a bit too dark. Like it made me look like I had a bit of a tan going on, and I'm like not a tanning person whatsoever. So maybe if these foundations really speak to me, then I might need to get both of them and then mix them. Yeah, this is really light. I mean, it's definitely on the lighter side, but it's not very full coverage foundation. Like I would almost say that the coverage is kind of, I don't even know if I would say medium. It's kind of sheer to me, so it does blend in quite well. I mean, it matches my neck at least, but yeah, it does. There isn't a lot of coverage in this liquid foundation, at least not from what I'm seeing. I put 2 pumps down and I'm not seeing a ton of coverage. I can still see a lot of my natural skin textures underneath it. Depends what you're going for. Personally, I prefer something with a bit more coverage just because I just like that. I don't like the absolute flawless finish unless I'm doing like YouTube or photos for the blog, stuff like that. But day to day, maybe this would be not too bad day to day, but on weekends and stuff, this is not what I'd really like. I much prefer full coverage. Okay, that is the foundation done, and I feel like I kind of look like a ghost right now. I just feel like it's not so light that I feel I couldn't go out in public and just look like I've put white makeup on my face, but it's definitely lighter than I would be comfortable with, so I think I'm probably gonna have to bronze it down a little bit on the edges so it just looks like I intentionally tried to add some dimension to my face. But I don't think I'd be comfortable wearing foundation that is this mismatched from my own skin tone on the daily, so that's a little disappointing. The other thing is that the coverage is quite sheer, so I'm okay with that day to day for work. I'm not okay with that on the weekends or when I'm like just enjoying makeup. Like I mean, I don't sit at home and just put on makeup and then just be like, yeah, this is so much fun. I mean, I kind of do. I just generally prefer full coverage because I like that whole like flawless finish, if you would say. That's just personal preference. The other thing I'm not loving at the moment is that I find that the foundation doesn't blend out very well for some reason it wasn't gathering in places, but I mean, I don't know, you probably can't see it because my lights are blinding, but around my forehead area I feel like pieces, if that makes sense. Cobblestone, that's right. It kind of reminds me of cobblestone-ish, where you just get lots of, like, it just doesn't blend and it's just a bit fragmented, the foundation itself. So I am not liking the liquid foundation, that's for sure. So the next one I got is the liquid mineral concealer. This is also, well, this is in the shade light, so I think they had 3 shades and this was the lightest one. There is no way I could go for the medium and the darker shade. It's just no way. So I hope that this is a good match for myself. Comes with this little applicator, so I guess some people would probably just apply it straight from there. I think I'll apply it on the back of my hand first, just so I can get a bit more control. So that's it there. It's a bit pinky toned, which is not perfect for me, but let's just blend it out and see. I'm gonna use my finger first and just tap it under my eyes. Okay, I mean, I like it. It's quite light. I don't know, can you guys see the difference? We've got concealer here, no concealer here. I kind of see a bit of a difference, but it's definitely not like, it's pigmented, but I feel like it shears out quite a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put some more on this side. I don't know, I don't hate this concealer. I think it does a pretty good job at brightening my under eyes because I do feel brighter underneath. There's something about the blendability that's bugging me. Like, it's definitely not as severe as the foundation in terms of not blending out, but I feel like this isn't blending out the way I'm used to. Like, I feel like it's sticky and it's just hard to move around, and the coverage, I mean, the coverage is good. When I look on the camera, coverage seems pretty good. When I look in the mirror, I don't know, it seems okay. Maybe the foundation isn't given a good enough base to sit on, so I don't know. I'm kind of about the concealer. So the next thing I'm going to use is this. It is the Pressed Mattifying Mineral Veil. Why did I say veil? Basically the pressed powder for the top, and do you guys see this? There's only one shade, so I couldn't pick multiple shades, just one. I thought this would be translucent for some reason. It definitely doesn't look translucent in the pan. It kind of looks a bit quite yellow. You probably can't tell from the camera, but looking at the pan just up front like this, it almost looks like there's some shimmer in here. That was my first impression. But swatching it is definitely matte. No, I mean, when you swatch it, it seems fine. I'm going to use my e.l.f. powder brush and give this a whirl. Okay, cool. Guys, I'm just not that impressed with all the bases at the moment. I feel like my face is starting to look cakey, like especially around this area here. It just looks like I've put on a lot of makeup, even though I feel like the coverage isn't that good. So I'm not even sure how that was possible. I feel like I'm not off to a good start, but I'm going to persist. I'm going to keep trying. So I'm going to go straight into the eyes. I think I'll do the rest of the face after. So I picked up the Perfecting Eye Primer. How cute is this little tube? It is like the tiniest, cutest little thing. See? Oh, it's white. So I'll put that over my eyelids. I do like the feel of the primer. It feels kind of sticky, but not too heavy. So that seems good. Okay, so for eyeshadow today, I am using this palette. And can we, oh wow. Oh wow, this like completely reflects my lights. So it's like, it looks white. But as you can tell, it's not white, and you can already kind of see fingerprints on it, but it's kind of a rose gold packaging. That's kind of the case with a lot of their stuff. So this is the eyeshadow palette that I picked up. It is called the Natural Wonders Eye Palette, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't like flash you guys with all the lights that I have around here. But you get 10 eyeshadows. They're all kind of neutral with some blues in there and some white and black. It's a mixture of shimmery and matte, so there's definitely no like metallic shades or anything, but you've got like a good mix. Like most of the neutrals are shimmery, and then the colors white and black are definitely matte. And I think you've got this one here is a matte as well, so it's going to be a good transition shade. I think I'm going to go for a pretty neutral eye today, because I'm going to go with this as an initial base and see how we go. Guys, I feel like this shadow is actually quite sheer. I mean, This is a finger swatch and it's definitely not as pigmented as I'd like it to be. It's very sheer. I've basically done my lid on this side. I don't know if you can even tell, but I've had to go, my brush has had to go in 3 times just to get the lid coverage. Am I even wearing eyeshadow? I feel like I can't even tell if I'm wearing eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go into this shade and apply that directly into my crease. Take some of that just under my eyes. I'm going to take some of the white and just apply it to the inner thirds of my eyes. Now I'm going to go in with this kind of chocolatey shade here and just use that on the outer corners. Take my finger, take that original shimmery shade that I use. I'm going to try applying that right into my lids just to see if I can get it to pop a little bit more, because I feel like it's blended out a little bit. So my eyes are pretty much done. I am unsure about this palette. I think some of the colors are quite nice. I found that the transition shade I used was quite pigmented. I found that the darker shades I used were quite pigmented. I didn't find that they blended out that well. That was the only issue with the darker shades, is that pigmentation was great, blendability not as good. So I don't know, I feel like a lot of people who maybe aren't super into dramatic makeup would actually like this, because I know for a fact that there's a lot of girls at work who actually prefer sheer eyeshadows. They like to just put a wash of color over the eyelid, almost that barely there look. So I think that would work for them, and I'm starting to think that is who this brand is targeted for, the very natural girl. I mean, nude by nature. I think it's pretty much aimed at someone who loves very, very natural makeup. I'm gonna go in with some eyeliner. I purchased their liquid eyeliner because they don't have a gel, even though I'm much more a fan of gel eyeliners. They just had this one. It is the Definition eyeliner. So I just wanted to warn you now, liquid liner has not been something I use a lot of on its own. As you've seen in previous videos, I prefer to put a gel on first, so I kind of sketch out the outline and then I just deepen it with some liquid liner. So going in straight with just liquid liner is kind of freaking me out a little bit, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully I don't screw this up too badly. Okay, my eyeliner is for the most part done, and I think this eyeliner is not too bad. Like, I think I did an okay job. I'm trying to keep my eyelids kind of on the low. I don't want to open them up because I feel like this liquid liner is taking a little while to dry. Yeah, okay, there we go. I just messed up my makeup. So, my thoughts. I actually quite like the brush tip or the applicator for this liquid liner, even though it was kind of like a weird, it felt like it was silicone or something, like rubber, but I actually quite liked it. I thought like it made application really smooth. It made the product go on really nicely. I will say that I don't find the product very pigmented. I feel like it shears out a little bit, and I don't know why you would want your eyeliner to shear out. Personally, that's just not me. I prefer my liquid liners, or I prefer my liners in general to be as dark as the night. I felt like I needed to go in twice for each eye to make sure I got the level of pigmentation I was looking for. I did feel like it was quite easy to do the flicks at the end, even though I'm not the best at doing the flicks at the end. I felt like it was easy for me to do. And then the only other con I have is that these liquid liners seem to take a while to dry. As you saw then, I just kind of stuffed it up because I blinked. I'm going to move right along to mascara now. This one is called the Allure Defining Mascara in black. And what does the one look like? Okay, it's kind of like a silicone-like one, which is actually great because this is the sort of one I prefer. And see how I go. Okay, don't even know if you can tell a difference. In real life, I can see a bit of a difference, but not as much of a difference as I'd like. This mascara is definitely more defining than volumizing or lengthening or any of that stuff. So if you're just looking for a mascara to define your lashes because you're, I don't know, naturally blessed with amazing lashes, then this is probably a good mascara for you, because I don't know, I quite like the formula itself. It seems to apply really nicely. It doesn't clump my lashes, but I have lashes that go like this and like this short, so I prefer something really lengthening and volumizing and just give me those really luscious thick lashes. So not really a mascara for me, but definitely a good quality mascara in my opinion. So I'm just going to do the other eye. I'm going to move on to brows, and I'm actually a little bit scared to do this one because the darkest color they had for brows is this one called Brunette, and as you can tell it is quite brown, whereas my hair is quite black. I mean, you can already see against my hair that it stands out. And I know that my brows are not black, but my brows are definitely more of a ashy gray tone than they are a warm brown tone. So I feel like this already is not going to play well with me, but it was the only one they had that was as close to my color as possible. We'll see how this goes. I don't know if you can tell, I just feel really like this does not match me at all, because I can see the brown here blending in with my black hairs, and it just looks silly, like it doesn't match. But I insisted that this whole video should be all from the same brand. Blended out, it's really not as bad, but it's definitely not one I'm gonna ever use again. So those are my brows blended out. Okay, I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like I have two colored brows now. Like one is brown and one is black, because I have sparser hair on this side due to eczema, and it just kind of looks a little bit crazy to me. So I definitely am not a fan of that. Not at all. I am going to move on to the rest of my face. I have two palettes here. It came in a kit. One is the contour palette, one is the highlight palette. When you see the colors for these palettes, it's going to seem a little bit strange to have a highlight palette that essentially looks like it does have some blushes here. You've got a really light color here, you've got pink here and brown. I guess these could be highlighters depending on your skin tone. And then on this palette though, you've got light, and then you've got two darker shades, but one is cool tone, one is warm tone, which is great because I usually prefer this cool tone more. I'm gonna take this more cool tone shade and use that to start contouring my face. Is looking super contoured. I like the color. Like, I feel like a lot of contouring powders or bronzing powders such don't come in this shade, which is the taupey, more of a cool tone taupey shade. It's always in this warmer shade, which is great for a lot of girls who love that bronze look. But for me, I don't really go for the bronze look. I just go more for the cool contoured look, and so it's hard for me to find powders of that shade. I find blending this out to be kind of a pain in the butt. It doesn't blend out very well. I mean, I feel like I look a little patchy here, and I want to partially take blame and just assume that I probably really suck at this. That's my 2 cents on that. I'm going to go in with a bit of blush now. So I'm taking the highlighter palette and I'm taking this middle shade. All the shades in here are quite okay. So even though you see a lot of color in this palette, they're all very shimmery. I thought when I purchased this would work better as a blush because it's quite pink. Starting to think it probably won't, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Yeah, it's super sheer. Let's try it. What do you guys think? It's definitely more of a highlighter than a blush itself. I feel like it's giving me a little bit of color and a bit of sheen, but it's not like a crazy highlighter that just gives you like insane highlight. I'm gonna go with that, even though I kind of wish I actually had some blush now. They did actually sell some blush, but because I kept thinking that I could use this as the blush, I never bothered to buy any. Oh well. I want to do a little bit of actual highlighting. I'm just not sure whether I should go in with this powder or I go in with the lighter one in this one. I think I'm going to use both. I'm going to use this one to just highlight certain areas of my face, and then I'll use this one for my cheekbones. So the face is mostly done. The last thing I have are the lips. So I got two shades. I got two products for the lips. I picked up this lip liner, this natural mineral lip liner in, what are you in? I don't know. I'm gonna have all the products linked down below so you can actually see what products I was using. but there's 3 different lip colors that I found, which is insane. 3 lip colors, really. I guess they're all kind of more on the neutral nude side. So I picked this one up, which is probably the lightest of the nudes. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. It's a very sharp point. It's actually quite hard, and I'm not getting any pigmentation when I use it on my lips. I have to use it on my wrist, and I did it a few times on my wrist to try, just thinking maybe there was wax on it, so I just needed to get the pigmentation out. Did this twice. I'm getting pigmentation on here. I like the color, not getting it on my lips. And every time I try and color on my lips, I have to press really hard and I'm still not getting anything. And I don't really want to hurt myself for the sake of trying this lip liner. So I'm really not a fan of this lip liner at all. It's way too hard and I don't know why I can't get the pigment to work. I'm very sorry if you love this lip liner and it works for you, but I don't know, it's just not working for me. So this is I think this is called the Natural Mineral Lipstick in the same color, Chic. So there it is. Beautiful color. I'm gonna try this now. I like this color. I like how it looks on the screen. I like how it looks in real life. This is just, I love this color. So I'm going to give you my final thoughts. I would say that pigmentation is just not at the forefront of this particular brand. I do think it is much more neutral. I think it's perfect for girls or guys who love the more natural finish. I'd say the eye primer was something I quite like using, so I could see myself continuing to use that. I quite like the lipstick. I am sad that I didn't get to try this because I feel like maybe this might be pretty good. This is the natural mineral cover, so I will try this offline at some point and maybe write a blog post on it if it's good. I'm not too sure about the two, like the highlighter and contour palettes, but I would say that these kind of palettes I could see myself using, especially for work days when I want something a little bit more sheer and subtle. Out of all these products, if I had to recommend any, I'd probably say maybe try these ones. And then in terms of products that I really don't like, I would say 2 stand out to me pretty strongly. Definitely the liquid foundation and the lip liner. I don't like these 2 at all. This is a first impressions video, so this is just what I thought of right off the bat. I'm not one to just throw away makeup because it didn't work for me on the first go. I like to persist and try it out a couple more times and just see maybe if I could use it a different way or in a different situation. So I'm gonna keep all of these and I'm gonna try them a few more times. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too negative. I was kind of worried that I was coming off way too negative. Every time I kept talking about a new product, I'm like, it's really like, is my expectations just like really different now? Have I just been spending way too much time on YouTube? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you, internet.